Kiss 92.5 studios in Toronto, Canada.
Ladies and gentlemen,
This is Roz and Mocha.
it's Roz and Mocha. What's going on?
Hey guys, this is Bruno Mars.
This is Selena Gomez.
Chainsmokers.
Lady Gaga.
Calvin Harris.
Celestia Cara.
This is Ed Sheeran.
You're listening to my boys Roz and Mocha.
Roz and Mocha.
My boys Roz and Mocha.
The Roz and Mocha Show.
Between Roz and Mocha, who is your favorite?
Mocha. I just Mocha. You guys are so funny, man.
Congratulations, Lisa! Wow!
You just won $1,000.
It's amazing. Y'all just made my entire morning. Keep it up.
You guys are awesome, man. This is the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
If you listen to our podcast, thank you. First of all, we appreciate that you take the time to download and to listen and to subscribe. If you've not yet subscribed, search for Roz and Mocha. We're on Apple Podcast. We're on Spotify, Google Play, Frequency Podcast Network. Hit subscribe so when we release a new episode, it'll download to your device automatically. One of the fun things that people have been doing is going back to episodes and listening to segments at half speed because our conversations sound like we're wasted.
Yeah.
Sometimes high. And we get submissions like almost on the daily, okay? So Amy Commodore reached out to us.
Great name.
Because she found a moment from episode 18.
18?
This is back in February of 2018.
Oh, no.
And it's in and around Valentine's Day, okay?
No. This is going to get me canceled?
No, it's not going to get canceled.
When you start saying 2018, I'm like, God, what do we do in 2018 that we can't do today?
I know, facts. So you and I sound drunk, right?
Okay, yeah.
But I think the thing that makes this one, it brings it to another level of like creepiness is because I'm playing music in the background.
Okay.
Like a sexy type song.
Oh.
But when you slow it down at half speed, it almost sounds like psychotic music.
Okay.
So we sound drunk and psychotic at the exact
here we
same
go.
time. Okay?
I'm intrigued.
So you got a haircut and everything? I didn't get a haircut. You didn't? No. Looks like you got a haircut. Come on, you think I'm one of those guys that gets a haircut during the week? Yeah. No. Who has time for that? Honestly, it really does look like you got a fresh haircut yesterday. No. I blow dried it this morning. That's fine. So silky smooth. I don't trust any guy who can get a haircut during the week. If you get time in your life to get a haircut on a Tuesday? Yeah. Okay, you're not doing enough in your life. If you can get a haircut on Tuesday, you're not busy enough. You're not working hard enough. No, haircut. Save that for Fridays and Saturdays. Haircuts are for days off. Sure. Right? When you got a day off, the haircut is one of the things that you do. You don't get a haircut during the week anyway. As you. Jesus Christ.
So shout out to Amy Commodore. By the way, this is the song that was playing in the background. This is what it sounds like at regular speed.
Yeah, because this is what we play when we get sexy on the show.
Right?
Right.
Isn't this song called Tubular Bells?
You guys are the sexy ruiners. We try to get sexy for 1 second, and who did we hear immediately? Deepa and Maury. do you want to do sexy, Deepa?
That's not
Go
Tubular
ahead.
Bells, by the way.
No,
Maury.
it's not. Go ahead, Deepa.
You gotta play like ooh, not like do. That sounds like sci-fi, no? Doesn't that sound like an alien's about to pop out of nowhere and like?
You sound like an alien just now singing that song.
Do it again. Do sexy again.
Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3. Ooh, it's sexy time tonight. Ooh, yeah.
Is that an actual song or are you making that up?
No, I made that up.
Oh.
You think that's an actual song, Mocha?
I don't know.
You legit have zero rhythm. Like less than Deepa right there.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Aside from sleeping, showering, and everything else, does anybody in the room do anything unusual while naked?
Naked?
Yeah. So let me read you this. So Christopher Meloni from Law & Order, he used to just be a regular guy, right? Mm-hmm. And then Christopher Meloni did that show for years, and everybody's like, yeah, the character's kind of cool and badass, whatever. People had mixed feelings about him. He wasn't a great cop. And then Christopher Meloni goes away. And then Christopher Meloni comes back to Law & Order, and they rebrand him, and he rebrands himself as like a daddy. Right? So now Christopher Meloni is like the king of thirst trap daddying. Okay. Really? And he is leaning into this daddy image that he has hard. Okay. Really? So this interview Christopher Meloni does, the headline is this: Christopher Meloni says he works out naked.
Mm-hmm. No, that's too risky,
Chris says when he works out at his home gym, he works out naked, and he doesn't even black out the windows. He says, I'm okay with it. My wife is not. He doesn't like to work. He also says he doesn't like to work out with anyone else. It's your home gym because he doesn't want to be spoken to. He says, quote, it's like interrupting a monk when he's in the middle of his monking.
Oh, stop it,
Okay. Now, Christopher Meloni is super hot, and I remember him back when he was on Oz, and he was naked on that show.
Right.
But I'll tell you something. Doing squats or lunges naked, no matter who you are, does not look good.
No, no, I don't even believe he does this.
Me neither.
Have you not seen the pictures of his butt?
Yeah, sure.
No.
I've seen pictures of lots of butts. There's nothing.
No, but his butt, his butt has changed.
Whenever I say that they rebranded Christopher, Maury's their target audience, right? Like big time. But is there anything weird that you do naked? You ever done anything naked? Like I cooked last week in just my underpants.
I've done that before.
Full dinner.
Naked.
I've danced
but that's
around
not
naked.
Full dinner. I've barbecued naked.
Like outside?
Outside.
Like completely nude?
Completely nude. I grabbed my string trimmer one time and cleaned up a patch. And cleaned up a patch.
Oh, you're talking about the actual.
Yes, I did. I grabbed my string trimmer one time. Yeah. Shut up.
Your what?
My string trimmer.
That's what you call it.
my string trimmer.
Oh, so that's what we call it now.
Okay, hold on here. Other people, Shem, call it a whippersnipper.
No, that is too risky.
Okay, yeah. Naked, yes.
Like buck-ass naked.
Yeah, bare-ass naked.
No,
I grab my string trimmer.
You're worried?
Worried about what?
About if something, I don't know, if that machine malfunctioned.
Which machine?
The string.
Okay, yeah. Go ahead.
Right?
Yeah.
The garden tool.
Yes.
If that malfunctioned.
Yes.
Right? Because at the speed that it goes, the piece of twine that actually cuts the grass,
yes, sir.
Right?
Yes.
And rips apart the weeds.
Mm-hmm.
If a piece of it flew off, it hit you.
Yeah.
You don't think about things like that?
Do not. No, I don't.
Are you doing that naked in hopes that people will see you?
No. Sorry. Give me 1 second, Maury. What is that, Deba?
Why don't you just put your clothes on when you go outside to do your gardening?
Who
like,
has
what's the purpose
time
of doing
for
it naked?
that? I was already naked.
God, it's 10 seconds.
Listen, I was naked outside. I saw a patch, and then I was like, "Oh, my string trimmer's right there," because I didn't put it back in the shed. So I grabbed my string trimmer, and then I just clean it up.
Oh my!
And then you went back to just naked business.
And then I went back to naked business. Yeah. and Maury, no, I did not do this so when somebody would see me. Nobody can see me when I'm doing this stuff at my place, right? It's completely private.
Well, now we know.
Oh my! It's not like I do it all. I don't go there specifically to trim things naked.
Pervert,
right?
I'm the pervert.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hello. All right, so what do you want to talk about? We got Billboard Awards last night. We got the Junos took place last night.
The weather.
You're right, the weather.
I went to the island in shorts.
Hot over the weekend. Good for you.
Was it first time in public in shorts this year?
First time in public in
How's
shorts.
that feel?
Year.
It's always weird, huh?
I know. I'm very self-conscious. Like you have to just keep looking down to make sure they're like.
They're what?
Like
Still
there? But like,
what do you mean?
Not
what do you
jiggly and overly white.
What? The shorts?
No, the leg skin.
Oh, your legs aren't jiggly though. I wouldn't call them jiggly.
No, but when I'm walking behind somebody and you see them walking, each step they take, their leg jiggles like a little bit, like there's a little.
And you're worried about if somebody's
walking behind you. I'm like, if they're doing that,
you,
it must be the same thing.
You should just like tense up and walk with straight legs. Like a Nazi or something, right? You know what I mean? What do they call that?
Legs.
Goose stepping, right?
I would rather the jiggle.
Yeah, see, that's one or the other, right? You can have one or the other. You can have jiggle or you can be a Nazi. You can't have both.
I'll go with the jiggle.
Yeah. So
did Damn It Matthew wear shorts as well?
No, he wore sweatpants, but wishes he wore
sweatpants.
So he rolled up his sweatpants, like he rolled
like 30
them up.
degrees over the weekend, bro.
I know, but he was also self-conscious. But then he ended up rolling up the sweatpants.
How high?
Is he self-conscious because he's skinny legs?
He's worried that he didn't like trim the hair and that it's too pale.
Yeah. How when he rolled up his sweatpants, how high did he roll them? Like how big of rolls are we talking?
Like just above the knee?
Oh, above the knee.
But then you have the clumping sweatpants.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oof. Yeah. So you wore shorts for the first time in public, right?
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic.
Driving around this city's crazy. We say this every year. Like this city goes so bonkers on that first nice day. Everybody just rips off their clothes. I saw more half-naked people walking around the city this weekend.
And you're complaining?
No, I'm not complaining about anything. I'm just saying it is like we went from puffer coats to nothing.
In a matter of weeks.
Yeah.
Patios were just packed. Like every patio I drove by over the weekend, it was just jammed.
Yeah. And did you not notice everywhere took away the plastic now? Anywhere you go now, there's no plastic between you and the cash register.
That's not true.
I was just at Starbucks. Plastic, they said, oh, yeah, we took it down on Saturday. Gone.
Yeah, but see, I don't really go anywhere. I go to the LCBO.
We went to, and there's still the plexi there.
Yeah.
We
Well,
went to
you
the
know what?
grocery store.
There's 2 feet of plexi. So your first interaction with the guy, no plexi. Then we do a little bit of small talk plexi. And then at the end of our transaction, I move beyond the plexi. And so it's like for 2/3 of my time at the LCBO, there's no plexi.
Right.
Only when I take out my dirty credit card do I have to stand behind the plexi.
We were at the grocery store on Friday afternoon, and they still had plexi everywhere.
Really, yeah? What did you wear this weekend? Were you out in shorts and a tank top and stuff?
Not
Have you
tank top,
trimmed
but
down? Have you
shorts.
trimmed down at
Nah.
all? Like shoulders or anything like that?
No, not yet.
No?
No.
Yeah.
Do
What's
you?
that? Yeah. Like I'll trim down my shoulders and make sure that's
I
not
will.
all
Get to the
mangy
hair.
and-
I will.
What's that?
How do you get to the hair?
You can't lift your hand to your shoulder? Bro, if that's the case, go see a doctor
Yeah,
today,
like
please.
with the razor on the end of it. Like that gives you an extra 4 inches.
But then there's like a part of the back that you can't get to.
What are you talking about?
Like in between
How
the
far
shoulder.
does your shoulder go?
Like more, I'm not a hairy guy. Like I have a little bit like on the tops of my shoulders.
Mocha's hair.
Okay, yeah.
Wow.
But I could
Yeah.
also reach
But
my
he-
shoulder
yeah, exactly.
with my hand.
Yeah. Honestly, and anybody listening right now, Maury just tried to like sort of reach up and touch his shoulder, and like his hand couldn't even make contact.
He's winded.
Yeah.
He's done for the day.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Oh, I want to play this Kate McKinnon thing for you.
Sure.
So Kate McKinnon, Ellen's wrapping up. When does she even finish? Soon,
There's like,
right?
Yeah, like 2 weeks left.
It's the 26th, I think it is.
Really, huh? Has she said who her last guest is going to be?
Yeah, she announced a list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if she's even shot her last show yet.
She has.
She has. They're
So who's
they're
on last show
wrapped
then?
up. They probably. I mean, I'm sure that there's going to be secrets and everything else. But Kate McKinnon on Ellen, and Kate McKinnon, of course. Like I think. When did Kate McKinnon come out? It was like fairly recently. Like she was on SNL for a long time before officially coming out, right?
Yeah.
I didn't even know she came out.
Really? Yeah. She was, and she did it in like a really like a big stage was the first time she said. I don't remember what it was like, an awards show or something like that. But Kate McKinnon on Ellen talking about the inspiration that Ellen was to her when she was a little kid.
I wanted to actually, and by way of thank you, I wanted to read you a letter that I would have written to you when I was 13. Okay.
That I would have.
Wow. Dear Mrs. DeGeneres, my name is Kate. I'm from Long Island. It's come to my attention that I am gay as hell. No one else is gay for 200,000 miles. So it's nice to know that you exist. I bet if I ever met you, I would act so weird, so I hope I never do. Oh, no. Thank you for being so funny and such an inspiration and making me feel less alone. Aww. P.S. My iguana isn't eating. What do I do?
Oh, my God. I love Kate McKinnon so much. She's so funny. So what happened, like, at this point, did Ellen have like tears in her eyes or anything like that?
She got up and gave her a hug.
Yeah. Who would have been your Ellen, Maury? Like if you were to write a letter, 13-year-old Maury to write a letter. Did you know you were gay at 13?
Oh, I absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Okay.
I came out
okay.
screaming I was gay.
Who would have been your Ellen at 13 to write a letter to?
Oh my gosh, way back then.
Yeah.
Do you know? Okay, so I probably would have written, but the mannequin on today's special. I would have written in. Do you remember today's Jeff?
But was Jeff even out, or did you just think he was gay?
I thought the mannequin on today's special was gay, and I just was really moved by the mannequin Jeff.
Okay. Okay. When your biggest inspiration.
Because there was no other really big.
But
gay
was that
person.
so? This is what I'm wondering. Like when you were 13.
First of all, Mocha knew the name.
Okay.
Yeah, he came alive.
First of all, your life's inspiration is a mannequin. Okay, but there was nobody out that was gay that you would have like saw inspiration in.
Not when I was 13.
Really?
No.
No. Come on. Who was gay at 13? Was anybody? What year was that?
Okay, so 78 to 80 was 10. So like
Ask the mannequin.
You can't. He's not wearing that.
You know what I mean? There was nobody gay anywhere that you found inspiration in 1990?
No.
Really?
No.
That's wild to me. Okay, so Jeff the mannequin.
From today's special.
Right? So he was an inspiration. Why?
I just thought that he was like super good look. Like he was super cute, and everyone like
With
just
all that
loved him.
plaid that he wore?
Okay, wait.
I loved Jeff the mannequin.
Okay, I know Shem's wearing all plaid.
Man. She was wearing a super plaid shirt.
Okay,
today.
hold on. So the question was. So this is what this is.
Or
this
also
is,
the
okay.
guy that wore dresses on MASH.
Okay, so
Wow.
what was his name? Klinger, something like that. What's that his
Damn,
name? Okay, so Maury, so the question was, who was your sort of like gay inspiration at 13? And in a roundabout way, what we found out was you were in love with Jeff the mannequin.
Yes.
Okay. Great.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Question for the room. What would you say, because they did a poll and they asked people, what would you say is the maximum distance you would consider walking distance? So if somebody says, hey, how far is that? And they say it's walking distance, in your head, give it to me in time, not in actual distance.
I was going to say in blocks.
No, give it to me in time. So when somebody says, when you go, hey, how far is that? And they go, walking distance, in your head, what is the maximum amount of time you are willing to walk before you would consider something to be walking distance?
15 minutes.
15 minutes. Deepa?
Like 30 minutes?
30 minutes. Damn it,
30?
Maury?
No. I was going to say 10.
10 minutes.
No,
Shem?
I'm going to definitely say 20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
Nah, man. Uber.
So okay, so anything over a 20-minute walk, Mocha, that's an Uber.
Yeah.
Okay, but now will you walk the 20 and then Uber the rest, or you're just Ubering the whole way?
I'm going to Uber the whole way.
You're going to Uber the whole way. Okay, so wow, this is real crazy.
What about you? What about you? You didn't give an answer.
I would say like 25 minutes kind of thing.
25 is
I've walked a
walking
lot.
distance?
Yeah, I've walked a lot.
No,
right?
okay. I've walked a lot too,
Yeah.
right? Love it. Enjoy it. Sure, no
Yeah,
problem.
okay.
But if you're telling me like something is walking distance,
Right.
I'm thinking it's going to take me 15 minutes to get there.
Okay.
After that 15-minute mark, I'm like, yo, that person lied to me.
Okay. So according
Like,
to
there's a
new poll,
bagel place 3 blocks from my place I won't walk to.
oh Jesus,
Bro, you Uber Eats places across the street
They're
from
not
your
on
building.
They're not on Uber Eats.
27% of people, the number one answer, 27% of people said 30 minutes.
Right?
Yes, 20 minutes
Deepa.
came in second.
Look at Deepa.
Okay.
Myself on the back.
Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
also says the young one in the room, right? You know what I mean? Like
Hey,
the
I'm
most
still
young.
young.
Energy. Come on, Shem.
Come on, man.
Okay. No. No, you're not considered young, Shem. People would say, you're still young. You know what I mean? It's like, he's still sort of young.
Whatever.
Yeah, don't play that card.
17% of people said 15 minutes was the max.
Yeah.
5% of people are only willing to walk 5 minutes.
Wow.
And then the crazy bunch considered 1 hour as walking distance. That was 4%.
An hour?
An hour they considered
No.
to be walking distance.
No.
What's the longest? Give it to me in like something that a reference people would know as far as this city. Like what's the longest you've walked?
I've walked from Finch subway station down to Eaton Center before.
What?
Okay.
Which is
Are
the
you
whole subway
mad?
line. Yeah.
Yeah.
How long did that take?
Oh,
That's a
wow.
long time,
That was
dude.
about 2 hours.
Yeah,
about 2
2
hours.
Yeah. I used to routinely walk from Bathurst and Eglinton to King and Yonge.
Bathurst and Eglinton?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Lord.
Yeah. Yeah.
No
I used
way.
to do King and Yonge to Young and Egg all the time.
How long is that?
Excuse me?
Oh yeah, long time.
That's similar to me.
Long
Yeah,
time.
that's a long time.
Long time because when you only have $5 in your pocket,
Oh, you gotta do it.
When you get to where you're going, $5 will get you a beer. But if you take the subway, you only got 3 left.
Hashtag Matt. Hashtag priorities.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Rachel, are you there?
I am.
Hi, it's Roz and Mocha. Roz, Rachel is your soulmate.
Oh yeah.
The other day on the show, you made
It's
a
always
comment
nice to meet a
of
soulmate.
you don't like being alone, but you like being left alone.
Yes, because there's a difference.
And Rachel thought that she was the only person in the universe that felt the exact same way until she heard those words come out of your mouth.
It's true.
Okay, so so explain how you feel about that then, Rachel.
Honestly, I think it just comes down to I don't like to be bugged for things. Like when I don't need to be, if I'm doing something, I want to be left alone, but I don't want to be alone. If something bad happens, I want someone there to help me. You know?
Right. Yes. So for me, I used to, like when I used to take public transit a lot, right? I was always far more comfortable on a crowded bus saying nothing to anyone than I was sitting alone on an empty bus.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah. I was just, I need to be left alone, but I don't like being alone. Like even now, Catherine and Roxy, when they go away, I am miserable. When I had to quarantine alone, when I had COVID, I was miserable. But anytime anybody was like, hey, do you need anything? I'm like, no, let's leave me alone.
Yeah, they're like, you are sick and we're just trying to help.
Yeah. And I'm like, stop fussing. Right? I don't
also come here and visit.
But I don't need you to.
But don't talk to me.
But don't talk to me. But don't talk to me, right? Like I want to be somebody's like best friend, but I want to say nothing to them. Yeah. Right? Like I sort of enjoy. I used to really enjoy going to bars alone, right? Like whatever, you go to a bar, there's a hockey game on. Like I have no problem doing things. I enjoy my own company, right? Yeah. But if I'm there alone, I like that there's people around, right? So I don't feel like I am alone, but I also, it's not an invitation for you to approach.
If you see me solo at the bar drinking a beer,
Right.
watching the game,
Yes.
keep your distance.
Thank you.
But also, please stay inside the bar.
I am, if you sit down beside me, I am not going to ask you why you're in town.
Right. Yeah.
I'm the wrong guy for that. Although I do like small talk, I will make small talk with a bartender. I love small talk with a bartender. I have had some great conversations based on small talk with a bartender because it's small spurts, right?
Sure.
Hey, how you doing? You start a conversation. That one conversation, which really is like maybe a 5-10 minute conversation, stretches out over an hour because they're busy,
Sure.
right?
They got other customers to tend to.
They come, they entertain you, then they leave you alone. Right? That's what I like. Those are relationships that I like. But no, I do not like being alone, but if you could, please leave me alone.
So, Rachel, what's your life like? Are you in a relationship? Do you have kids?
Yes to both.
Okay.
I have one little guy and a significant other, and when I'm home alone because I work from home, I feel weird, like I don't know what to do with myself because I'm usually so busy. Mm-hmm. But then when they're home, I'm like, leave me alone, please.
You
just like knowing that they're in the house, right?
Yeah, I like to know they're with me and they're safe.
Yeah, I get it. It makes perfect sense to me what you're saying right now. Like I 100% agree with you. I really do.
Had you met, prior to hearing Roz say those words on the radio, Rachel, had you met anyone else in your life that kind of feels the same way? Or is this like the first connection you felt that you've really, really made?
First one, I would say. Everyone else kind of looks at me like I'm crazy.
Okay, so I wrote this book, right? Mm-hmm. So I spent almost 2 years writing this book. And for a lot of it, I was like alone. Like I was alone in my own head. I was alone like in rooms. I was alone with my thoughts. I spent so much time alone. And it was very, very lonely, right? Like it was very lonely. And so I quite enjoyed moments of that because Catherine and Roxy would be in the house. I would be off somewhere doing this, right?
But you knew that they were in the house.
So they left me alone, which I really appreciated, right? But I wasn't alone. And now what I'm starting to think is like the longer that I have these conversations, and now I'm dealing with, who my publicist is and the publisher and all of this stuff, I'm like, now I'm going to have to talk about this thing with people.
Yeah.
Right? Like
Big time.
a lot. And I'm like, ugh, just leave me alone. Right?
Just buy my damn book. Leave me alone. Get the link at rosweston.com.
Yeah.
Please pre-order right now. By the way, I don't know if you know, Rachel, but Roz wrote a memoir. It's coming out on September 27th, and it's called A Little Bit Broken.
I can't wait.
Nice.
But yeah, so I hear you very, very loud and clear. You and I are the same.
Well, props to you then. I'm glad that we found each other.
Yeah, there we go.
Rachel about to leave her whole family now. Love you lots, Rachel. Thank you so much for listening. I don't even need to ask because I know what the answer is, but let's just go on record because it counts. Between Roz and Mocha, who's your favorite?
I gotta say Roz. I'm sorry, guys.
Don't apologize. You're allowed to have a favorite.
I know, but I feel bad picking a human favorite and telling others.
Wow.
So ashamed.
Wow. That's great.
Love you, Rachel.
Cool.
Love you guys.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast. Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
What advice can you guys give me?
Okay, so my question is...
Got a problem you can't fix?
Roz and Mocha got you.
So, what's going on, Shelby? What are you reaching out to Roz and Mocha for?
So I need the help of Roz, the cat whisperer. I have a serious cat situation.
Oof, yeah, you wrote. It says, Roz and Mocha Fix My Life. I recently had to take in a 3-year-old cat from an unexpected situation, but he isn't getting along with our other cats, and my parents don't want me to keep him. So what was the situation? Tell us about this little guy.
Okay, so I clean houses for work, and I went to work last week, and it just so happened that someone wasn't able to keep their cat. He's 3. He's really nice. Mm-hmm. And I said, you know what? I can't let him go back to a shelter or anywhere else, so I'll take him because we have cats, and I have no problem with that. Mm-hmm. But I brought him home, and he just does not like other cats. Aww. He hisses. He won't let them get close to food or water or anything. It's kind of been getting better, but now the other cats don't like him in the house.
How many other cats do you have in the house?
We have 2.
Okay. How did you introduce them to each other?
So we had him in a cage. The other owners had gotten him everything. We had him in a room in the cage and let the other cats kind of come to the door so they could smell that he was here. Yeah. We let him out, and he roamed around, and he was kind of getting comfortable. And then we let the door open a couple of days later, and it was just chaos.
It's a real slow process, especially when you're dealing with an older cat. We just introduced a new kitten, mm-hmm. and she's already running the house.
Oh, really?
Oh my God! Birdie is now the queen, right?
Really?
Yeah.
Already?
Oh, already.
After a couple of weeks?
Yeah. Already. Damn. Well, no, so I shouldn't say that. Pickles is the old cat. She's like the empress, right? She oversees everything. Nobody bothers Pickles. Nobody goes near Pickles. Yeah. But Birdie's the baby, and she's now running the show, right? Full stop running the show.
Really?
But when you introduce a new cat, especially sort of like an older cat, you're not bringing a baby in, it's a real long process. And I've gone through this before. Where there's things you can do, like you have to keep them separated, but you putting one cat in a cage and letting the other ones in the room to sort of walk around the cage and stalk it kind of thing is a bad idea because that cat in the cage is not going to feel safe at all, right? But you need to introduce them. What I've seen people do is they've set up almost like a makeshift, almost like screen door kind of thing or like baby gate that a cat can't get over. And what you do is you can feed the cats on either side. Mm. So the new cat has his bowl on his side and another cat has their bowl on the other side. So they can't get at each other's food, but they learn to eat together. So you start feeding them at the same time, right? And so they get comfortable being able to eat around those other cats and not feeling like they're going to get ravaged. And it's the same thing with brushing. The smell matters a lot. So brush your one cat with the brush, heavily, and take that brush and don't clean it out and go and brush the new cat with it, right? Mm. And get those those smells everywhere. So they get used to what the other cat smells like from being on their self. And it's a slow process. It's like you let them out like in a hallway first, and then you let them out in like the hallway and part of the living room, and only for like 10 minutes a day and then 15 minutes a day. Like it's a slow process to get cats used to each other.
Hey, Shelby, this new cat that you brought home, was that cat like the only cat in the other home? Or were there other cats as well?
No, he was the only cat, and he seemed really great there in that environment.
So do you think, and I don't know if you would know, Roz, but do you think that maybe this new cat that came home with Shelby was just used to being the solo cat and had no idea what it was like living with other cats? And maybe that's why he's kind of freaking out?
Yeah, listen, cats, they will follow other cats. That's why it's called copycat, right? Like cats will just do what other cats do. But I think that, is it a boy cat?
He is, yeah.
What about your other cats?
A boy and a girl.
A boy and a girl. And is he the same sort of level of violence with both?
Yeah, I would say so.
Really, eh? Interesting. And does he hate the other cats, or do the other cats hate him?
It's kind of a little mutual right now.
Right.
Oh, damn.
Okay, so you've started a turf war.
I think so.
Is what you've done.
I think that's why my parents want him to go anywhere else.
Aww.
Right. I would say that time is what it takes. Right. It takes time, and you have to be there. You can't let them just sit there and fight it out, because you've literally started a turf war. Right. Like you sort of the process of introducing them and getting them used to each other. Just the one thing you should not do, especially with older cats, is don't think that getting them high and throwing a bunch of catnip in the middle of the floor is going to help at all, because it doesn't at all. Have you tried that already?
Not yet.
Okay, don't. I will just say this. It can be done. People have done it a million times, but it's a slow process. You can't just say, here you go, get used to each other, right? Like you have to sort of be the adult in the room.
And please explain that to your parents as well.
Yeah.
Like ask them to give you a little bit of time, right?
Yeah, I think it was just because it was so easy with the first two that now it's a bigger struggle. And
Does that help a little bit, Shelby?
It does, yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
Sorry about that.
That's okay. We're going to stick it out, and we're going to see how it goes.
By the way, what are the cats' names?
The new one is Colton, and our other two are Callie and Joey.
Aw, that's so cute.
Yeah.
Well, all the best to you guys. Thank you so much for reaching out.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye, love.
You too. Bye.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
On Kiss.
Yes.
Okay, I need to know. Damn it, Maury and
Coming in
Shem,
hot.
What the hell happened on This Is Us last night? Second last episode.
Yes.
Because before you start, damn it, Maury.
Oh, my God.
Twitter, even right now, is still going bonkers with the hashtag This Is Us. And everybody is freaking out.
Okay, so.
Wait. Damn it, Maury.
Oh, my God.
Somebody said, the writing, it's impeccable. The little details, it's too much.
Yeah.
Another person wrote, that was one of the greatest episodes of TV I've ever seen.
Wow.
Just perfectly written and told, heartbreakingly beautiful. Also, I'm an absolute wreck.
Oh, my God.
So I don't watch This Is Us. Roz, you gave up after, I think, partway through season 2. And Shem and Dammit Maury are the only other two people in my life that I know watch this show religiously.
Mm-hmm.
Last night's episode, oh, my God. So I was told, last night's episode really was the finale, and next week is sort of like a look back kind of thing.
Well, that's what Mandy Moore had said. She said that the second to last episode was the crusher, and then the final episode is the hug, right?
So how much can I say? Can I just say?
Well, no. I mean,
I can
well,
explain how it
well, no,
happens.
she went. I mean, they promoted the show as the fact that the mom was dying, right? Like we've all known that.
But how they did last night's episode was brilliant. So it starts off with her on an old-fashioned train.
Right.
And then you learn that the train is...
Is this a spoiler?
No, but I need
go
a
ahead.
minute.
Okay, go ahead.
Oh, jeez.
Go ahead.
Shem, hold my hand.
No.
That's COVID.
COVID, man. Yeah,
Oh,
can't do that.
damn COVID.
Yeah.
Okay, Shem.
No, Maury.
Yeah.
Come on.
So you're on an old-fashioned train, and then you learn that it's really a look back at your life and all of the people who were in your life and who have passed. And you see them, and she reconnects with the doctor that gave birth to her children, and he gives them secrets. You see Randall's father is back, so all these people, they look fabulous. They look young again, and they're on the train. And at the very end is the caboose, which is the end of the train, and there's a bed in there. Mm-hmm. And the dad says, she goes, this is sad, and he says, only things that are sad because Do you remember the saying, Shem?
No.
You're letting me drown, man.
No,
memorable.
keep swimming,
Okay,
Mark.
so-
Keep swimming.
It's okay.
So
We're
he
here for you.
said
So what happened? So
that-
We're here for you. We're here for you. Keep
So
going.
at the
saying
end,
was
go back to the
brilliant,
caboose.
but I
Go back
can't-
to the caboose.
I'm in the caboose.
He's in the caboose.
Okay.
It's at the end,
Who's
right?
in the caboose?
At the moment, nobody until she walks in.
Okay. So Mandy Moore
Yes,
by herself.
by herself
In the
And
caboose.
when she's ready,
Yeah.
the dad says you earned a rest. That's what the doctor said. You earned a rest. And so she then goes and lies down in the bed, looks to her left, and her husband is there, and she can then go to sleep. And that's the end.
Spoiler alert.
I got to say, it was very much like season 1 in a lot of ways. I'm not going to get emotional because I actually didn't cry during the episode. To be honest with you. But it was very much like season 1. It was beautiful. It was beautifully done.
Oh,
So
and
do
in
you
the train,
guys-
there's little things on the shelves that are from their past. Like
Yeah.
there's an old TV where the Steelers game, and there's like cans of soup.
Details.
Yeah.
So
Beautiful.
TVs and soup.
So
What else is on the train?
who did you watch?
Oh, and then there's, oh my God, and they're sitting at, she looks and there's a table and it's all the different Randalls.
Randall's. Yeah.
And then there's all the different Kevins. That's when my husband lost it. But then he fell back to, my husband slept through most of it.
Just like your marriage. Who's on your train, Maury? Who's on your train, Maury?
Oh my God.
Who's on your Maury would walk honestly, Maury would walk down his train, right?
Yeah.
All the people that he's met in his life, everybody that he's communicated with, and he'd be like, "Oh no, please don't say anything." no. Maury be
My
like,
train
trying-
would be a nightmare,
Maury
not
be
a
trying
dream.
Maury be trying to open windows.
Yeah.
Can I die again, please?
He wouldn't make it to the caboose.
I don't like this. I would like to die again. Okay? I don't even want to know who's in the caboose.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So you know me, huge fan of The Office.
Yes, sir.
And out of everyone on the cast, I mean, Steve Carell, biggest star, right? He was the breakout star of that show that went on to do other things greater, right?
Right.
You obviously have like Dwight, who did a couple of things. Rainn Wilson, right? Ed Helms went on to have a great career.
Yeah, really did.
And then Kevin from The Office went on to have a popular podcast, but not as popular as Jenna Fisher and Angela Kinsey, a.k.a. Pam and Angela, when they launched the Office Ladies podcast 3 years ago.
John Krasinski's probably the second
and
most
John-
famous,
That's
right?
Jim,
Yeah.
Jim from The Office, of course.
Yeah.
Great actor, great director. So I guess because of the popularity of The Office Ladies, because they're always making news with their behind-the-scenes input on the series, they've come out with a new book now. It's called The Office BFFs, Tales of the Office from Two Best Friends Who Were There, right? So a lot of pictures, even more stories, basically their podcast, but in book form, right?
yeah.
So they are out promoting the book, and they were talking to Seth Meyers the other night. And the question was when they knew the show was a hit with the audience.
Gotcha.
And listen to this.
We were almost canceled every week for almost the first 2 seasons. Yeah. But I remember, what do you think? The Christmas episode. Of season 2. But that was because they put it on the iPods. Remember? You could download it onto your iPod. Yeah. And we were the #1 downloaded show. Yeah. So people were not actually watching us live on television.
Yeah. They were watching it on the iPod. And then we were like, well, we might have a job for a while. And I went out and I bought a Honda.
Yeah. That's when we knew. When we saw Angela in the Honda, we're like, that show's working.
So when
They sound so Midwest.
Oh,
the two
big
of them.
time, yeah.
Where's
When
Jenna
they're-
Fisher from? She's from where's she from? Missouri or something like that, I bet, right? Where does she grow up?
That I don't know. Fun fact, Jenna Fisher,
Yeah.
Pam,
Indiana.
Yeah.
She's from
Indiana.
Indiana.
in real life,
Yeah.
her father worked at like a paper company.
No.
Yeah.
Are you really?
Yeah.
Come on. You know, my mom used to work at a paper company too.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Doing what?
Yeah, and I don't know, like Angela stuff.
Accounting?
Yeah, like something like that. Yeah. Yeah. When I was a little kid, I used to go there all the time and hang out in the warehouse.
No, you
Where they had
didn't.
big giant rolls of paper and stuff. Yeah.
So like the office was like legit.
Yeah.
So like
for
with,
sure.
with like Daryl and the crew? You were hanging
Yeah,
out?
like I was like a little, and I used to take home rolls of paper from there to draw on. So like when I was a kid growing up, I never had sheets of paper that we drew on because my mom would bring home, it looked like a giant, like imagine a paper towel roll. Right?
Yeah.
But only that's all one giant sheet of paper. That
like they
is
have at
rolled
the
around.
butcher shop
So
that they pull out the paper.
every picture that I drew when I was a kid, nothing is on a piece of paper that has 4 square corners because everything was ripped.
Oh,
right?
but you know what?
Like
The
we would roll it out and rip it.
The advantage you have, though, is you could use as much or as little paper as you
Yes.
wanted to.
Drawing was no problem. Making paper airplanes was the problem.
Oh, yeah,
Yes.
that'd be the worst.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Let's go back real quick. Last night, the Canada's Got Talent live finale from Niagara Falls.
I'm trying to hold
Janique
my
Fournier.
Let it stay this way
From Quebec.
and let this moment end. You set off a dream in me, getting louder now. Can you hear it?
Janique is your CGT winner.
No surprise, though, right?
No.
I mean, I know it was tough, but geez.
And early on, like early on, she was a lot of people's favorite. She was my favorite. She would have got my golden buzzer ASAP.
Yeah.
And such a beautiful moment last night, too.
I love that she still sounds like she's from Quebec when she sings.
Yeah.
She hasn't lost that yet. It's endearing.
Janique, are you there? It's Roz and Mocha. Oh, hold on. Oh, there we go. Janique, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hello.
Hello. Good morning.
Good morning. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, so you've had a night. Did you even sleep last night?
I dream a little bit.
a little bit. And how was that? How was that waking up today as the winner of Canada's Got Talent?
I don't realize, if you're beside me, you have to pinch me because it's crazy. It's crazy. It's incredible. Now I watch the TV and I saw my son and me on TV. Whoa. It's incredible.
Have you gone back and watched your performance or watched the entire episode yet?
Sorry, my English is not very good. Would you repeat your question?
Have you gone back to watch last night's episode, or did you see your performance yet after it aired on television?
Yes, I see my performance yesterday.
And how confident were you going in last night?
It's crazy. It's crazy, and I think it's sorry, I'm not sure to understand very well your question.
Yeah, no. How were you confident that you were going to win? Did you think you were going to win?
No, never enough. No, I just take minute by minute, and everybody around me said, "You win, Janique, you win." No, don't say that. That's it, and that's all. I just appreciate each minute, each moment, and that's it for me.
We know Simon Cowell was there as part of the big live finale. Did you have a moment after your win and after the cameras were off and we all finished watching on television? Did you get a chance to have a moment with Simon Cowell at all?
Yes.
Yeah? What was that conversation like? What did he say?
He say, "You're amazing. You're a beautiful human. Your son is very beautiful." He speak with my son. He speak with me 5 minutes.
Wow.
5 minutes. Yes, it's crazy. I'm on the stage. I speak and take a drink of wine with Simon. It's crazy.
Janique Fournier, the CGT winner from last night on the Roz and Mocha Show. Once everything was over and you had a moment to yourself last night and you picked up your phone and you looked at it for the first time since you put it down before the night started. How many missed calls and or how many text messages did you get?
300.
Wow.
Message on Facebook, Messenger, Twitter, Instagram, phone call, texto. I picked my phone and I said to my partner, bring it in a room and stay. I stay with my family, with my team, with my friends, and drink champagne.
Hey. So what do you do now? Like, are you going to continue on with this? Like, are you looking at putting out an album? Like, what are you doing? Shows? Like, what happens now?
We receive a lot of demand, a lot of for a show, for a CD, for a producer, just take time. Just take time to choose the better. To choose the better for me with my two manager and everybody in Canada's Got Talent to help me to continue this adventure. But I take time. For today. More interview.
Of course. Janique Fournier, the CGT winner from last night. Thank you for making time for us on the Roz and Mocha Show. We know how busy you are today and how busy your week is, and we appreciate you so much. We love you a lot. And if there's one thing you would like to say to all of your supporters across the country listening right now, what would you like to say?
Thank you so much for your vote. Thank you so much for your accompanying me to at the adventure. Thank you for your message. Thank you, and God bless you. And thank you, Roz and Mocha.
Hey, wow. Janique Fournier, CGT winner.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hello, Roz and Mocha.
Good morning, Mocha. How are you?
Doing good. How are you?
I'm good. I have a question for Roz about chicken wings.
Ooh. Yeah, love. Go ahead.
Okay, so my family recently has become obsessed with chicken wings. I have found an amazing recipe on how to make them.
Yeah.
My only problem is the brine. I find the brines that I've been using, that I've been researching, even if I don't put salt in my recipe when I'm baking them, they're still a little salty when we're eating them, and the next day they are so salty you cannot even eat them. Okay. I need a good brine.
Why are you brining
chicken wings?
I don't know, because I was told I was supposed to so they stay juicy, and I don't know.
Who told you to brine chicken wings?
A couple people that I know that I've spoken to, and then when I was searching online for recipes, everybody's saying to brine the chicken wings. You don't need to brine chicken wings.
I have never in my entire life heard of anyone brining,
especially like a
chicken wings,
especially like a salt-heavy brine. When you so you brine them, and presumably you're washing them very well, right?
Well, see, that's the thing. The recipe says not to wash them.
No, girl, if you brine anything, you got to wash that brine off. It's too much salt.
Okay.
Also, don't brine chicken wings. It's completely unnecessary. So talk us through your chicken wing. So you brine them, and then what do you do?
And then when I take them out, I what's the word I'm looking for? I take a paper towel and I dab them to get I don't know.
Yeah, you dry them off.
Yeah, there you go. And then I just I rub them down all in oil. I put my spices on them, and then I put them in my air fryer and I bake them.
Yeah. Okay. So first of all,
you're brining first, and then you're adding spices on top of that. Of course, it's going to be salty as hell.
You don't need to brine chicken wings in a salt bath. And if you do, you got to wash brine off. Like if you're brining a turkey or you're brining something else, right?
Yeah.
You have to wash that brine off of it, and then you really should leave that whole thing uncovered in the fridge for 24 hours to dry out.
Okay.
Right? You shouldn't go straight from brine. It's too wet. That skin will never crisp up for you.
Oh, they crisp so nice in the air fryer.
No, because it's the salt that's crisping.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, don't. I don't think you don't need to brine chicken wings at all.
All right.
Just cook them properly. Cook them properly, and you're going to be okay.
All right, cool.
It's like it's like brining a hot dog.
Yeah,
right?
Gross.
What's the point?
Oh, why would you do that to your family?
Listen, I am not. I hate cooking.
Yeah.
I eat it with a passion. But
sounds like it.
It shows.
Well, just being honest here. I hate it.
It sounds like you hate your family more than you hate cooking.
You trying to poison them to death?
No, there are moments, I can do without them, but they're still my family at the end of the day, right?
Sure.
No.
Hold on.
Yeah.
What was the last moment in your life where your family did something you're like, oh man, I could totally be without them right now?
What's your name on the phone again? What's your name?
My name, I don't know if I want to say my name now. No, my name's Noni.
Noni. This is the moment Noni regrets calling in to want to talk about chicken wings.
Okay. What was the last moment?
I could have done without my son's attitude on Monday at school, if that helps.
What
I
happened?
wish I didn't have. Oh, I don't want to get into it. He just wasn't very nice to his friend or his teachers. Yeah.
What about your husband?
My husband's been great so far.
Okay,
So
far. Hey, so listen, thank you so much. Stop poisoning your family and stop brining chicken wings, okay?
I will.
All right.
Are you guys going to ask me who my favorite is?
I was just going to say, Noni, between Roz and Mocha, before we let you go, between Roz and Mocha, who's your favorite?
Hands down, Roz.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, girl.
You're welcome.
Have
Really
a
appreciate
wonderful day.
You too, guys. Thank you so much.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hey, it's Roz and Mocha. What's your name?
Hey, what's going on, buddy? My name's Daryl, man. I work for the city of Toronto. And I was listening to you guys every single morning. I just want to say you guys are both great. I love it. Love the jokes. Love everything, man. I just want to take quick little mention on this lady here, which she was talking about chicken wings. Wow, what a loony bin. Who does that man? I ain't gonna lie, buddy. Who does that bro? Woo! I'm a master of barbecue. I'm a master of smoking meat. Seasoning for me is key. And the people who don't wash their meat, I think that's absolutely disgusting.
No. I was asking her if she washed the brine off. I'm not asking
Oh, yeah,
her.
no, that too.
I'm not asking.
100% you got to wash the brine off.
Bro, I don't wash.
100%.
I don't wash meat before I cook it.
Why not?
Why? Why would I?
I think you're supposed to.
You think you're supposed to?
I don't think that has never been said like officially because when you're cooking at such a high temperature.
Bro, yeah.
It depends what you're doing, man. I think just like with all the chemicals and everything and all the hormones in food, I think
bro, but you're not washing the hormones off. The hormones are in the meat, man.
That's funny.
Well, it's funny because it's true. Like I've seen people before, like they cook a chicken and they put that chicken in the sink and they put the tap on full blast on top of it, and then the water is like spraying everywhere.
Right? That part's disgusting. I put
because all that bacteria is going all over your counter, on the floor, on your clothes.
Yes. No. Don't wash your chicken. Just cook it. Be careful with it. Dry it out. Cook it. And you're going to be good.
Wash it with a little vinegar or a lime or something just to, cut whatever bacteria is on there. That's the only reason I wash it.
I like my meat full of steroids. just like how I like my women.
Damn, son.
You guys are great, man. Do what you guys do, man. And keep rocking, boys.
You got it,
Thank you so much for listening.
Right.
You have a great day.
You too. Bye.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast. Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
What advice can you guys give me?
Okay, so my question is... Got a problem you can't fix?
Roz and Mocha got you.
Hi, Brianna. It's Roz and Mocha.
Hi.
How you doing today?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good. What's going on in your life? Why are you reaching out?
I feel like I am competing with my boyfriend's daughter for his attention.
You wrote this, Roz and Mocha Fix My Life. So I've been with my boyfriend for 2 years now, and we live together. He has a 7-year-old daughter who he shares 50-50 custody with the mother. I'm having a bit of a hard time being in a relationship where I almost never come first. I totally understand that his child is the priority, and I respect that, but we've gotten into arguments a few times over him refusing to give up a weekend once in a blue moon to do something I'd like to do without a child. How do I deal with this, and am I being too needy and unrealistic?
What is your relationship like with your boyfriend's daughter?
Her and I get along so well. Like, I love that she wanted me to move in, and she loves having me there. Like, her and I get along very well.
But?
Well, there's no but. I even get along with her mother. It's just sometimes, because I don't have a child, so sometimes it's hard for me to, it was a huge undertaking for me to now be around a kid majority of my time.
Yeah.
Is this a relationship forever for you?
I would like it to be. I think it is.
Okay, then guess what? You have a child.
Yeah, I know.
But you just said you didn't.
Well, I know that I do, but even if he and I had our own kid, I feel like we'd also have to still make time for ourselves.
I know, but if you're looking at like this type of relationship, right, it takes years, not months. It takes years. And I think that you may still be looking at it like, I love her, she loves me, I get along with the stepmom, but not my kid, right? And that will eventually, it's going to all change because it has to change, because there's no way that you can expect him to fully commit to you if you sort of still have that attitude. And yes, I agree with you. You know, even parents with biological kids need a night away or a weekend away. But when you're doing 50-50 custody split, you have 50% of the time where you guys can do all that.
Right.
Yeah, 'cause my question is, the other 50%, when the child is with the mom, what are you and your boyfriend doing at that point? Like, what are you doing with the time that you have then?
Well, he and I both work 24-hour shifts, so our schedule, like, he doesn't have a regular schedule. He does have 50-50 custody, but it's not, like, weeks at a time. It's kind of all over the place because of our work schedule.
Yeah.
So half of that 50%, we're at work, and half that time we do have just him and I. But
Right.
none of it, it's only ever during the week.
You have to understand that, I get it. Everybody needs a break, right? But it's not that you need a break from the kid, because you guys are only seeing the kid 50% of the time. And the rest of the time, you guys are working your asses off. If something needs to be fixed or altered or adjusted, I would say that it's that part of your life, not the part of your life when the kid is in it. The kid is not the reason that you guys don't have time. It's your own personal schedules and choices are the reason that you don't have time.
Yeah, I guess that's a fair way to look at it, yeah.
Right? Don't blame the kid. It's not about not doing something with the kid around. It's that you guys have gotten into yourselves into a position of where you're working opposite schedules. And I'm not saying that listen, this happens all the time. It's you got to do what you got to do to survive. But I don't think that this is you fighting for the attention from a kid. I think it's you fighting for attention from his job.
Well, we work the same, like we work the exact same days.
Then you're both fighting for attention from each other's jobs.
Yeah.
It's not about you fighting for attention from a 7-year-old. It's that you guys both live these lives that make it very difficult to have any kind of relationship with each other, let alone a kid.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, it sounds, to me at least, it sounds like regardless, even if you didn't have a child, you would still have the same problem. You would just have a limited time on the weekends.
Yeah, we do. We only do have 2 weekends off a month.
Yeah, and that's the problem. It's not the kid. That's the problem. And I think that you have to understand, and he may not articulate it, but you know, if he's a great dad, you have to be a little bit aware of the actual just amount of fear and guilt that he must be going through every single day when he can't set out a hard schedule of when that kid's going to see him. And I'm sure that there are times where work gets in the way and he can't do certain things, and that's awful. That is a terrible place to be when you're a parent, is when you feel like you're working your ass off to achieve something so your kid can have all these great things, and then in the back of your head is, yeah, but in my doing that, is my kid going to wake up one day years from now and think that they got ripped off because I was never around?
Right.
But
it plays
I
out in
also
my
think
head.
the other part of this too, Brianna, is like if you and your boyfriend ended up having a child that belonged to both of you, not saying that this other child doesn't belong to you, but you know what I mean, like that you birthed a child, you would still have this exact same problem where you're working these crazy schedules, and then on the weekends or whenever you still have this child to look after. Like you would be in the exact same situation. And then what would you do?
He does tell me that I don't understand what it's like, and he's right. I don't understand, so it's hard for me to relate sometimes.
Yeah.
Which, I mean...
I think you have to stop separating the relationship, though, and just treat it as what it is right now. You're 2 years in this relationship, and you have a family.
Right.
But you're looking at it as he has a daughter, you have a boyfriend, and those two things are separate.
Yeah, that's pretty well said. Yeah, I didn't realize that that's what I'm doing, but you're right.
Yeah, of course it is. But I think that your problem is with time, not with attention, and or with attention of the 7-year-old. I think that you guys need to figure out how to see more of each other when it comes to work. because I think right now you're fighting for air, and when you guys do have a minute, that kid is there. Of course, that kid is there because he hasn't seen anybody. So of course he wants to see his kid, but it's because you guys are working the schedules that you're working, and you're living the lives that you're living without the kid being there. That's the problem. That's what you're fighting attention for. It's not the kid.
Yeah, that is true. Because when we come off work in the mornings, we're just both tired and we don't really want to do anything.
That's where you need. That's the conversation you guys have to have.
Does that give you a little bit of clarity?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, good. Well, thanks so much for reaching out, Brianna.
Thank you so much.
Right
All
on.
right, girl.
You
You
got it,
take
girl.
care. All the best.
Roz and Mocha's Fix My Life.
On Kiss.
Hey, Shem, you've worn plaid twice this week now, I've noticed.
Yeah, I've actually got 3 different plaid shirts. I've got a darker green, which I wore earlier in the week.
Yeah.
Now a bit of a lighter green with a hint of blue, and I also have a pink plaid shirt.
Now, is plaid new for you or no?
To the Shem wardrobe, yeah, I would say it's new.
Yeah, and how you feel about it?
You know what? It feels like it gives me a bit of a more mature look.
You think so?
Yeah. 'cause
Interesting.
I typically come in here with, a T-shirt or just a big oversized hoodie, which is fine, but I'm management now. So
right. True that.
Gotta
And
go
now
ahead.
you because it's a button down. It's like a button shirt, right? Collar, pockets, everything else. Now you wear T-shirts under your button shirts.
Sometimes, yeah. Today I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that because you sweat or?
Sometimes yes.
Yeah.
Today I just thought it worked better with the look. I don't have a big chest. I feel
Right.
like you got to
a
have
little
a certain
bit lumberjack,
kind of chest.
little bit priest.
Hey,
right?
man.
You like that little bit of collar popping at the top, right?
Amen, brother.
Yes.
You know how it is.
Yeah, looks good though.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Looking good.
Yeah.
You got a whole bunch of meetings today or what?
Tons of meetings, man.
Oh,
I'm gonna be
that's
here for
why.
quite
That's
a
why you
bit.
got to.
Pause for 1 second. Say something nice about what Maury's wearing.
Listen, Maury, your chest is looking great.
Why would you say it like that?
That one button on the top, I like it.
Oh,
It's a
I've
good
worn this
look.
shirt a billion times.
Yeah.
Can I say this?
Listen, man, if somebody's saying that something nice about your outfit, Maury, don't be like, oh, like this old thing.
No, listen,
Trust
here,
me,
guys.
it does look like an old thing. Though.
Yeah.
We crack on Maury a little bit for his wardrobe, but
Yeah.
I sit with Maury every single day.
You do.
Maury's got some like girth to him, and I don't mean that in like a chunky kind of way. He's got some size
Maury's
to him.
face. Please explain.
No, he's got some girth. And
Yesterday, I
like,
was talking to our boss, and he said to me, he goes, I saw on your Instagram some stuff, and you look thinner. So I then made the mistake of telling my husband, Matthew, hey, the boss said I look thinner.
Right.
And my husband said he just feels he has to say that to you because you've gained weight.
Damn.
Damn. You got there's no safe space at home, eh, Maur?
No, there is, in the bathroom with the door closed.
Jeez, man. Wow. That is a hard room to walk into after a rough day.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, to me, like going home at the end of the day is supposed to be the place where you feel like you're most secure, at your best. You walk in and it's just like landmines, huh?
Watch where you step.
Like, I would go do you go literally right from the front door into the bathroom and lock the door and just sit in there for a while before
I actually do.
You do?
Like I take my jacket and shoes off in the bathroom.
You don't even
You got a coat rack in there and a boot tray right next to the tub.
That is so wild. No, you guys, you both look great today.
I wish I could wear my plaid. I can't fit into it right now.
Why? Too thin?
No, it shrunk in the
I'm
wash.
joking. All right. Oh, it shrunk in the wash.
Yeah, Matthew put it in the dryer, man.
Oh, okay, I gotcha. Yeah, that's the worst. I like when my clothes shrink though a little
Do you?
bit. Yeah, sure. Why not? I don't mind a tight T-shirt. I mean, most of my T-shirts are baggy, but I really don't mind a tight T-shirt.
Like how tight?
Like where you could see my belly button imprint.
A belly top? Oh,
No,
belly
no,
button
not a-
imprint.
Shut up, what do you
Sorry.
think I am? What the hell's the matter with you?
Yo, I
Think I'm out here wearing half shirts?
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Spider-Man director John Watts is bringing a new coming-of-age series to the Star Wars universe over on Disney+. Wow. Still mostly under wraps, the series is codenamed, as it is right now, Grammar Rodeo, which is the reference to the Simpsons episode where Bart and his schoolmates steal a car and run away for a week. It was described to Vanity Fair as in the same tone as all those old Amblin coming-of-age adventure movies of the 80s, so like E.T., Gremlins, The Goonies. They said that this will take place right after Return of the Jedi, so sort of in the same universe as The Mandalorian.
Okay.
Basically, Star Wars wants their Stranger Things.
Yes.
Right?
So what? It's going to be like with a bunch of kids?
Bunch of kids. Yeah.
Okay.
Star Wars wants Stranger Things is what they want to
And
do.
the folklore of
They
Jedi
want to take a
and stuff
young
like
they
that?
want to take a young cast and grow them up over a couple of episodes and basically do Stranger Things in the Star Wars universe,
I'm here
which to
for
me
it.
is great. They also talked a lot about Andor, and Andor is the story so it's the story of Cassian Andor, who was Diego Luna's character in Rogue One.
Oh, yeah. Great character.
Yeah, so this is his origin story.
Oh.
Is a brand new show that's going to debut late summer this year.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I'm
we
here
got a
for it.
lot of Star Wars stuff. And then you were telling me, I have not seen or heard this yet, but you were saying they dropped some of the trailer for She-Hulk with Tatiana Maslany.
Oh, yeah. So that is on Disney Plus, August 17th. And in the trailer, it's Tatiana Maslany, of course, as She-Hulk, and Mark Ruffalo.
As
the
Hulk. Oh,
yeah,
nice.
but not as Professor Hulk. So he's hulked up throughout the entire trailer.
Being a superhero is a trial by fire. Who's gonna protect the world if not people like you?
I'm Jennifer Walters. I'm a lawyer. I have great friends. Can we get some shots, please? It's an emergency. A demanding job.
We just started a superhuman law division, and I want you to be the face of it.
And a frustrating family.
Cause you didn't ask for this, but you still gotta deal with it. Your transformations are triggered by anger and fear.
Those are like the baseline of any woman just existing.
And she hulks up. Dude, if you get a chance, watch the trailer
Yeah.
for She-Hulk. There's a great scene at the very end of the trailer where she's on Tinder, right?
Yeah.
Trying to get onto dates and stuff like that. And she eventually matches with someone, and they're in her apartment, and she's all hulked up. So she's like,
oh, really, huh?
3 times the size of this guy.
Yeah.
And things are getting hot and heavy, and she literally picks him up and cradles him like a baby and walks him to the bedroom.
Hey, so when she's hulked up, is she like Hulk, or is she like the girl version of Hulk? Like, is she more of like a female bodybuilder would look like, or is
Yes.
she Hulk?
No, she's still a female
Gotcha,
bodybuilder.
gotcha.
She's still got the facial. Like she.
What do they
looks
do
like
about her
Tatiana.
shirt? Does she keep a shirt on?
There's some scenes where she's bigger and like the shirt matches. Like
I guess you
everything
just get
fits.
like a.
But then
I'm
there's
sure
some scenes-
Lululemon would take care of her if there was a shit.
completely.
They would design something custom that stretched with the body. You know what I mean?
But there are
Modesty, right?
some-
I know
there's
you're
like a
the Hulk,
couple of-
but there's still modesty.
No, there's a couple of scenes where she like really hulks up.
Yeah.
And like them heels just disintegrate.
Okay, that's awesome. I'm looking forward to
But
that.
that
I can
is,
still fit into a
She-Hulk.
small, so can she.
No. Yeah, right. What size is that shirt that you're wearing right now? The one that's screaming.
Medium.
Yeah. Look at Maury is so defeated to have to say he wears a medium. That is the wildest thing ever, man. I don't know what happened to you where you're like, you whisper medium. Medium.
Yeah. And that shirt is so tight too.
Medium.
See?
I'm an XL.
Really?
Yes. Everything I buy is
No way.
XL. Everything I buy is XL.
What'd you say, Deepa?
I said no way.
Yeah.
There's no way.
What do you-
I guess
what-
because you're tall.
Well, and also I'm kind of, I take care of myself.
Little tick like me.
Yeah. Well, no. Nobody said tick.
No, tick is good.
No. Nobody.
Tick with 2 C's.
good.
Nobody said tick. Nobody said tick.
Shem did.
Ross is a tick man.
This is why. Can you shut my microphone off, please? I'm finished with the news.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Oh, hey, I watched the She-Hulk trailer yesterday.
And
can you play that again for people in case anybody missed it?
Tatiana Maslany.
Yeah, and Mark Ruffalo's like all throughout it, and I guess they're cousins. And She-Hulk is a lawyer. The actual show is called She-Hulk Lawyer at Large, right?
Yes.
Is that what it's called?
Being a superhero is a trial by fire. Who's gonna protect the world if not people like you?
I'm Jennifer Jennifer Walters. I'm a lawyer. I have great friends. Can we get some shots, please? It's an emergency. A demanding job.
We just started a superhuman law division, and I want you to be the face of it.
And a frustrating family.
Because we didn't ask for this, but you still got to deal with it. Your transformations are triggered by anger and fear.
Those are like the baseline of any woman just existing.
Okay.
So here's my problem with it.
I knew. Oh my God! I wish I bet on this.
Yeah.
I knew you were gonna say.
Yeah.
Here's my problem with it.
Yes.
Okay.
Love Tatiana Maslany.
Yeah.
Love Mark Ruffalo.
Yes.
Love the idea of She-Hulk.
Okay.
I love the idea that She-Hulk is a lawyer and goes to work every day as Hulk. Like she's hulked out in the office.
Correct.
Right? It's awesome. I love that sort of world where the Hulks have harnessed it and they can go about their lives as Hulks.
They can control.
They can control.
Yes.
Right? I love that sort of spin on Hulk because the other thing it was amazing whipping Loki around and just being unhinged.
Yes.
That was fun for a while, but you can't sustain that and build a character around that. So you have to allow Hulks to harness. But I think that they were cowards when creating the Tatiana Maslany Hulk.
What do you mean?
Because I think that they thought maybe people might not be interested if they actually made her beefy. I don't think Tatiana Maslany as the Hulk, she's tall, right? She's
Yes.
tall. But her body, there are women
she still
there are
has-
women in this world who are bigger, natural women in this world. Steroids. Natural women in this world who are actually bigger than the She-Hulk version of the Hulk.
Right.
Right?
So you want like bodybuilder?
She's not big enough.
Sorry. Female bodybuilder.
No,
Hulk.
I want beefy Hulk.
Okay.
Beefy. We can handle it.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that they, for some weird reason,
I didn't even notice that, to be honest with
thought
you.
that she still needed to maybe look like a lady. I don't know what they were thinking because, I don't know. But I was a little disappointed that they didn't go full Hulk with her.
Really?
Yeah, very
I didn't
much
even
so.
notice.
Very much so. Yeah, I was.
Unless they are planning on it they don't want to do.
No, she's full Hulk in this.
Too much of a reveal.
No,
Maybe
she's
she
full
hulks up
Hulk.
a little bit more.
She's full Hulk in this. You see it. You see it fully. And I was just a bit disappointed. I wanted her to be a little bit more hulkish, right? She's tall and green.
Yeah.
She's fit.
Like in
She's
the
not
comic books,
Yeah.
she is the way they draw her is
Yeah.
like a monstrous Hulk.
Yeah, she's beefy.
Right?
Right? Yeah, she's big. But I don't know why they did that. Like, because if you look at the transformation between, Mark Ruffalo and his Hulk, it's like incredible. Like he turns
the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, he's Incredible Hulk. Thank you. Right? I think that Tatiana Maslany's Hulk is less incredible. I think that it's like mildly impressive Hulk, right? As opposed to incredible, right? So I don't know. I'm still gonna watch whatever. I love both of them, and I love that character, and I'm really I want to watch this show, but I just sort of wish that they had the guts to make her a little less what you might consider to be attractive.
I still have hope that when this series drops on Disney in August, that she hulks up more. I don't think that they've given the full look in that one trailer.
You don't think so?
I think there's more.
Yeah,
I think that there's more.
But they've never done that though. Like there's Mark Ruffalo's never gone half Hulk.
Right.
Right. You go Hulk or you don't go Hulk.
But I think because we've had Mark Ruffalo as Hulk in our lives for so long.
Yeah.
So we know.
Yeah.
We've never had She-Hulk at this capacity.
Yeah.
So I think during the series,
you think so?
You're gonna get that beefy She-Hulk that you want.
I don't think so.
Your beefy She-Hulk, she's
no,
there.
No, she's not. It's like it's not Hulk. It's like she's I don't even know what the word is I'm looking for. Not even like bodybuilder. Like she's borderline. Like she looks like she could beat just about anybody in a swim race.
Okay.
Right? You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like that's the body she has. Like you've seen it before. I shouldn't have seen the Hulk body before in my life.
Right.
Right? I just wish that they had beefed her up a bit. That's all.
We'll find out when it comes out this summer on Disney Plus.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Hey Mocha.
Yeah, man.
You ready?
Let's do the news.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
News break.
Bob Mackie, who is the original designer, he's a fashion designer. He's the one that years later did all those crazy Cher pieces that she used to wear at the Oscars
big
all the time.
extravagant ones,
the big
yeah.
extravagant
He still
ones.
designs all of Vanna White's outfits on the Wheel of Fortune.
Tacky Mackie, as he's known in the fashion world.
I just bought his book.
Yeah.
Oh, no. You better return that joint.
Bob Mackie, who is at 23 years old, was the fashion artist, the sketch artist, who did the original sketch for that Marilyn Monroe dress that Jean-Louis eventually designed for Marilyn. And Bob Mackie did an interview on what he thought about Kim Kardashian wearing that dress to the Met Gala. He said, quote, "I thought it was a big mistake. Marilyn was a goddess, a crazy goddess, but a goddess. She was just fabulous. Nobody photographs like that, and it was done for her. It was designed for her. Nobody else should be seen in that dress." Damn. He goes on to say that he agreed with the historians, saying that with that gown and it being as sort of priceless as it is, it could have been damaged and it needs to be preserved, and the structural integrity of the dress needs to be upheld, and that it should never have been taken off out of the museum and put on Kim Kardashian. So that's Bob Mackie.
That's the only opinion that matters right there.
There you go. That's the only one. Amor?
You only saying that because you bought his book?
Well, yeah.
How much was Bob Mackie's book?
Unsigned, $35.
Unsigned?
So you can buy a signed copy?
For $250 US.
Oh. Excuse me? Hold on. Wait a second. What's the markup on a signature? I need to know this. I have a book coming out, by the way.
Yeah, September 27th.
September 27th.
RosWeston.com. You can pre-order.
Thank you. So how much was the Bob Mackie book?
$35.
And how much is it with a signed copy?
$250.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't think they're charging a premium.
But
if I
Roz,
sign a
here's the
book.
thing: you have to sign a limited amount. You can't go crazy with signatures then.
What's a limited amount then?
Like there's only 200 signed copies of the Bob Mackie. If you're going to go on tour and sign all these things, you can't do that.
Oh, so I have to be the guy that says I'm not signing that?
Yeah.
Oh
Now, does
my
it count
God! I
if
don't
you
want to
have
be that guy.
Does it count if you have a stamp made of your signature?
You can't.
Like, what
do
if you could
that.
stamp? What if you for the book signings you just stamp? But
Yeah.
then there's like the collector's edition that you actually sign.
Right. I'll tell you what my dilemma with signing is that Catherine signs my signature way better and cooler than I do.
What do you mean?
She's had to do it before for things.
Forging?
No, yeah,
Wait,
just
are
like
my greeting cards not you?
just on things, right?
Yeah.
I always like the way she signs my name better than I do, and there have been times where I've been like, "Hey, can you throw my signature on this for me?"
Oh no!
Yeah,
yeah. So I don't know. I'd much prefer. So if I did have a stamp, it wouldn't even be my signature on that stamp.
That's collector's edition though. If it's your signature, but it's somebody else's writing.
Right. Yes. I know forgery on. I know that's a whole. It's
We're gonna
it's
make
a whole
so
thing.
much money. I'm telling you, with all these different versions.
Yeah, I know. And maybe I'll do one. Maybe I'll sign one, and then all the rest will be forgeries.
And then it's up to the audience to figure out which is the real one.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. But maybe nobody will know. Maybe I'll get them all to pay $400, and I just won't tell anybody who has the original.
Go pre-order that book right now. RosWeston.com.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Well. So Cardi B got them big long nails.
How should you do anything with those?
Well, exactly. And that's the question, is that a lot of people look at Cardi B and they're like, hey, how do you use an iPhone? Hey, how do you open a can of beer? How do you chop a carrot with all those nails? And then, of course, the question,
how do you wipe your butt?
How
after
do you
use the
wipe your
washroom? That's
butt?
The real one.
How do you wipe your butt? And the question came up, how do you change a baby diaper with those nails? And yes,
one.
exactly, right?
Good
and
one.
so Cardi B did a video where she was changing the diaper of a teddy bear and showing people that she can very easily change a baby diaper with those nails. But then her kid gets involved. Listen to this.
Take it off. You got to make sure that, put it all the way down and go like that. You always want to make sure you clean the butt cheeks. Make sure it's clean.
Mom.
Yeah, hold on, KK.
Why are you cleaning the butt?
And then, I take it off. Now that everything is so clean, then I just open the diaper. I don't know, is it because I've been, I have 2 kids, so I could do it probably a little faster. Maybe because I've been wearing nails this long since I was 19.
Mommy, why are you doing that to the bear?
It's a long story.
I'll tell you later.
Jeez, man, I'll tell you later. Okay, I'm doing a thing here.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
The head of ABC said that they would be up for having Chris Rock host the Oscars next year.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of people had said that at the time that he would be the perfect fit. But then a lot of people were looking at the sort of nonsense that went down, and they were like, well, what about Ricky Gervais as well, right? So I know a lot of people want Ricky Gervais, but I think that the logical host would have to be Chris Rock. But Ricky Gervais has got a brand new Netflix special that drops on May 24th. It's called Supernature. And so here's a little clip of Ricky explaining the irony of his act.
Welcome to my show. It's not a show. There's no dancers or jugglers. It's basically a bloke talking, which is essentially what stand-up comedy is, isn't it? A bloke talking. Sexist.
He's so good.
What about all the funny female comedians? Like, No. Right. No. I'm not doing that. Okay, right. That was irony, okay? There's going to be a bit of that throughout the show. See if you can spot it, okay? Now, that's when I say something I don't really mean for comic effect, and you as an audience, you laugh at the wrong thing because you know what the right thing is. It's a way of satirising attitudes. Like that first joke, I used the old-fashioned sexist trope that women aren't funny. Now, in real life, I know there are loads of funny women. Like, I did it again. Well spotted. Good.
So you get what the special is, and Ricky was on with Stephen Colbert talking about exactly that, how he is still in this day and age able to do jokes about AIDS, cancer, Hitler, and yes, women.
There was a thought. I think, oh, will this be out of date? Then I realised that when you're dealing with, famine, AIDS, cancer, Hitler, those dudes are evergreen.
Yeah.
So they're not gonna. True. They don't date.
Right.
You know what I mean?
There's no audience that isn't gonna love that.
Boo! Not Hitler. It was a long time ago. Yeah.
Get over it.
Get over. Exactly. Yeah, but you're always evolving. You're spicing it up and what things happen. And
when people go to a Ricky Gervais comedy show, they have to know that you're going to be dealing with subjects that some people might find offensive.
Yes, but they know I deal with taboo subjects. But I deal with taboo subjects because I want to take the audience to a place that hasn't been before, and there is a tension. And I think people get offended when they mistake the subject of a joke with the actual target. And smart people know you can deal with anything, particularly when they're dealing with something like irony. Humour gets us over bad stuff, so that's why I laugh about terrifying bad things. That's why comedians are obsessed with death, because it gets us through. It's an inoculation to the real things that are going to happen.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Over on Jimmy Kimmel. So Kimmel was off. If you remember, Jimmy Kimmel had like a while where he had guest hosts come in and fill in for him, and he had to cancel the Tom Cruise show and everything else because his daughter brought COVID home, and everybody had just assumed that Jimmy Kimmel also had COVID. Mm-hmm. And then so Jimmy Kimmel yesterday tweets out that he has COVID again. Oh, wow. And he's going to be off again. Oh, no. So Jimmy Kimmel tweeted, "I tested positive again." The great John Mulaney and Andy Samberg have graciously agreed to host Jimmy Kimmel Live for me tomorrow.
Oh, wow.
So Jimmy Kimmel off
another round
of COVID. So it's been like a while now since Jimmy Kimmel's going to be doing his own show. So Kimmel off with COVID again.
But great. I like the
great
lineup,
choices. Great
right?
choices.
Who's it? John
Mulaney
and
Andy Samberg.
Oh, yeah.
Lonely Island. Yeah. So there you go.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Big television news. We got another universe that's expanding.
Okay.
So the blank universe is adding yet another show. The blank universe is adding yet another show. Mocha, go ahead. The blank universe, the which show universe is adding yet another
DC,
show?
Because they have all those shows on CW.
No, not DC, not DC. The Yellowstone universe is adding another show. No, seriously, bro.
Really?
So you have Yellowstone, and then they did 1883. 1883 was with Tim McGraw, Faith Hill, and Sam Elliott, which became the most watched show on Paramount Plus.
Did you guys watch that one?
I did not. Well, I'm going to watch 1883 in the summer, I think.
Okay, yeah.
To me, that's going to be a summer show.
Because I love, Yellowstone.
So good.
There's only one show that I'm interested in watching from the Yellowstone universe.
Okay.
And if this is not it,
right,
what I think it is,
okay,
then I don't want to have any part of it.
Well, let me just explain it to you first. So first they did 1883, which took place in the year 1883. So it was a prequel to Yellowstone.
Like your childhood.
Thank you, Maura, you jackass.
Wow.
Which was Tim McGraw, Faith Hill, and Sam Elliott.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I know. Look at Daddy's little piggy over there. Listen to him. Cochon. Now they're doing, so they did 1883. Now they're doing 1932.
Oh, boring.
Okay.
Your graduation year.
So now they're doing 1932. 1932 will take place in the era of pandemics, historic drought, the end of Prohibition, and the Great Depression. However, 1932 is going to be starring Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren.
What? Okay, now I'm kind of interested.
So an old rancher Western with Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren.
Power couple.
Right?
There's going to be hella racism in that one. Inappropriate behavior.
I know. I love how they go through. Well, it wasn't the South. I mean, it's the West.
No, I know, still.
But no, I love how they go through. Yes, historic drought, Prohibition, the Great Depression. They leave out all that other stuff.
Yeah.
So Harrison Ford and Helen Mirren. I am very interested in that show though. So that'll be good.
Okay, that I was when you said that they were expanding the universe.
Yes.
I thought you were going to say because he's such a popular character that they would capitalize on the popularity of Rip.
No,
and
not
maybe
yet.
tell, even though like if you watch the show, you kind of already know Rip's history.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't know if there's much more of it that you could tell.
I think if you did a Rip origin story, it would take away from Rip on the show. I don't want to know why he's the way he is fully. Because I kind of like him that way.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
I'm just reading this article on how all these big-time celebrities and athletes are now getting ripped for all taking incredible amounts of money to do commercials for crypto.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah. So the crypto market, as we know, is in the middle of a meltdown.
Mm-hmm.
And the Hollywood celebrities who pitched it over the last year, because really the last year, like if you like with Super Bowl, like they called Super Bowl Crypto Bowl because every commercial during the Super Bowl, if you remember, was like a crypto ad with the big Matt Damon one and everything. Matt Damon. But after investors watch hundreds of billions of dollars disappear in a sell-off this month, those people, the famous faces that sort of pitched it to vulnerable fans, quote, to invest in crypto without emphasizing the risks. Now, unlike clothes, they say, or snacks, or any other the sort of products that you could pitch during a Super Bowl that are hawked by celebrities, the crypto market is volatile and it's full of scams.
Yeah.
And so all these celebrities were treating it as Taco Bell or treating it as whatever without sort of laying out or even understanding the dangers. So in this article, they reached out to Matt Damon. If you remember, Matt Damon said that the crypto was like the development of aviation and space flight. Oh, wow. He didn't comment on the article. Neither would LeBron James. Neither would Reese Witherspoon, who said that crypto is here to stay. Neither did Gwyneth Paltrow, Paris Hilton, Mila Kunis, or Aaron Rodgers. All people who were involved in these crypto commercials. Yeah. The only person who they got to comment was the director, a director named Jeff Schaefer, who did the Larry David spot.
Okay.
Remember where they were like, don't be a Larry? Because Larry's just like, he's an old curmudgeon and he refused to get onto something new.
Everybody wants to be Larry.
Right? Now everybody wants to be Larry. So this was his response to this. Unfortunately, I don't think we've had anything to add, as we have no idea how cryptocurrency works, even after having explained to us repeatedly. Don't own it, don't follow its markets. We just set out to make a funny commercial.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's what everybody did. They hired these marketing teams. Nobody knew what crypto was, how many scams were involved, how volatile it was, and they just made cool commercials. And celebrities just took these massive checks.
That people got paid in real money for.
Real money. They didn't get paid in crypto for.
Right. I think the problem, part of the problem with crypto is that it's still, much like NFT world, it's still relatively new. Like you don't have anything else to compare it to.
Well, it's just like,
and it's just you just don't.
Dude, it's
so
way wild.
There's more of the unknown than there is of the known.
Dude, I was reading an article, Luna. So Luna coin is the one that's now disintegrated, right? It was like worth billions of dollars, and then overnight, now it's worth zero. I was the guy who created it. I don't remember his name. I think his last name was Kwan. He's the guy that famously said when anybody would question him about the stability of Luna, his favorite quote was, "I don't debate the poor." Right?
And now where are you, sucker?
Exactly. Well,
Poor.
he's loaded.
Oh,
He's
okay,
loaded.
right.
He cashed out early, like everybody else did, I'm
Made
sure.
Everybody else poor.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Taylor Swift's commencement speech at NYU. Also, they gave Taylor Swift an honorary doctorate. So this is Taylor sending off
Is she Dr. Taylor Swift now?
She is now Dr. Taylor Swift. This is Taylor, a little bit of Taylor sending off the class of 2022 yesterday.
We are led by our gut instincts, our intuition, our desires and fears, our scars, and our dreams. And you will screw it up sometimes. So will I. And when I do, you will most likely read about it on the internet. And as long as we are fortunate enough to be breathing, we will breathe in, breathe through, breathe deep, and breathe out. And I am a doctor now, so I know how breathing works.
Not bad.
All
It was a
right.
good speech. I watched most of it. It was a good speech. Hey, Chip, you were the valedictorian at your high school, right?
3 times.
3 times?
What? In my life is what I should say.
Oh, wow. Okay. Hold on a second
You
here.
were so good that they brought you back?
No, I was valedictorian in elementary school, middle school, and high school.
Really? You ran the table on valedictorians?
Yes, I missed out on university, but that's okay.
Jesus.
And university's a big one. You should be disappointed. I
know.
Oh, geez, wow.
Just
wow.
kidding.
Wow.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Yeah, so like not university then, right?
No.
Okay, never mind. I'm joking.
Do you remember what you said your elementary school one? Do you still have that speech written down somewhere?
No, but I do remember my high school one because I did my school cheer during my incorporated it into my speech.
What is that? What's the school cheer?
It's to the song. It's to a Beanie Man song that goes, "You want a proper fix? Call me." Oh, you want me to do it? Oh, so basically it was, congratulations, Mother Teresa, name of my high school. You guys did great. Love you all.
Yeah.
But don't forget, you want a proper school? MT. You want a school that rules? MT. And the whole thing, and it was beautiful.
That sounds great. Did everyone cheer?
They did.
Did they
It
go
was-
bonkers?
Listen, they went crazy for it. It was awesome.
Yeah.
it was really
Oh,
good.
that's great. That was a good speech, though. Taylor, if you get a chance, watch Taylor's speech.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Okay, so we know Jimmy Kimmel got COVID again. Which is wild. John Mulaney and Andy Samberg, I thought that they were going to be hosting on different nights because the story was that Jimmy Kimmel called John Mulaney and Andy Samberg to ask if they could fill in. And I thought they were just going to sort of like alternate. But last night on his show, it was John Mulaney and Andy Samberg hosting.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Here's
Thank you so much. It is an honor and a favor to be here. I guess we should explain why we're hosting tonight. You remember how Jimmy said he didn't have COVID, but then he said he did have COVID? Well, he was right both times.
That's right. Jimmy has contracted COVID again for the second time in 3 weeks.
Oh, no.
And we're thinking they should probably change the name of the show to Jimmy Kimmel Alive.
Jimmy's currently waiting in line at an urgent care in Reseda. But I was reflecting backstage. It's particularly sad that Jimmy's sick because he grew up as a sick kid in Brooklyn, you know? And he'd look out the window and he'd see the other kids playing stickball. And he'd try to run out there and his mama would go, Jiminy Kimmel, you come inside, you take your medicine.
Did you just launch into a one-man show about Jimmy?
It's just something I'm working on. So Jimmy would go, Mama, one day I'll never be sick and I'll have my own talk show. And he'd be up in his room with a hairbrush and a bunch of dolls as the audience.
It's definitely a one-man show here.
And he would be like, and I'm going to have my own show, and I'm going to prank my family, and I'll never be sick, and the show will gradually get more political over the years.
Very improvised.
Oh, my God, it's so good.
It's something I'm working on, and we're looking for financial backers if anyone wants to get it.
We should say up front, Jimmy is doing fine. It's important.
So are they two of them
I don't know how they're going to roll this again tonight.
doing this
I don't,
together the whole time that Jimmy's off?
I'm not 100% sure. I don't know.
I'm not opposed to it. That was very funny.
Yeah, no, and they were dressed the same too. Which
Oh, were
is,
they really?
Yeah, it's great.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
So after 2 years of anything goes, the Academy Awards are going back to normal, meaning eligibility for films. Because of the pandemic, they allowed straight-to streaming films compete for Oscar glory. However, they are going back to the old rules that they have to debut in movie theaters as well. And it can be the same day. It can be the same day, but it has to stay in a movie theater, has to have a theatrical run of a minimum of 7 consecutive days with at least one showing per day in one of 6 approved major metropolitan areas: Los Angeles, New York, Chicago, Miami, Atlanta, and San Francisco. So no more straight-to-streaming movies. If you're doing a straight-to-streamer that you want an Academy Award contention or nomination, then you also have to deliver it in theaters on that same day.
Like, I don't know. During the pandemic, a couple of great things happen, right?
Yeah.
In terms of easeability of living life, right?
Right.
Grocery delivery, all sorts of delivery, right?
Sure.
When movies became available on demand,
yeah,
ASAP,
yeah,
I spent more money in the past 2 years on movies that I could watch from home than I would have in the theaters.
But they that's fine as long as the movie's also in the theater. So a movie like Coda, for instance, which won, had no theatrical run at all, and probably wasn't going to because it was just an Apple TV Plus movie, right? So no more of those. No more of the Netflix movie winning an Academy Award. No more Apple TV Plus movie winning an Academy Award.
I don't know. I think
no more
that's
Amazon
crap.
Prime being nominated for an Academy Award.
I think that's crap.
Yeah. Normally, as shows become popular and these seasons roll on, the seasons get shorter.
Yeah.
And so they released the season 5 premiere date for Yellowstone, which is going to be November 13th.
Can't wait.
However, Yellowstone is going longer. So season 5 of Yellowstone is going to have 14 episodes.
Yes!
As opposed to 12
That's
episodes.
what happened with Grace and Frankie. I just finished the last season of Grace and Frankie.
Yeah.
And it was like 15, 16 episodes.
Wow.
Oh, that is amazing.
Right, yeah. So they're going 14 episodes for season 5, which premieres November 13th.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
It's looking like Nick Carter. Oh, Nick Carter. Nick Carter with all them babies.
Nick Cannon.
Sorry, Nick
Oh,
Cannon.
Nick Cannon,
My
yeah.
bad, my bad. It's looking like Nick Cannon.
Don't tell me he got an ex-gal pregnant.
No. So listen, the idea, he's brought up vasectomy before, right?
Yeah.
We've talked about vasectomy before. It's not a complicated thing. So Nick Cannon, I guess, is leaning towards vasectomy, but now he's at the point of where he's had a consultation about a vasectomy.
Oh.
I don't know if I would have designed it this way. Like, I already done went and got my vasectomy consultation. I'm not out here looking to populate the earth completely, but I'm definitely looking forward to taking care and loving all the children. And I'm quite honest when I speak about it. I do have the guilt of not having enough time to spend with all of my children, as we all do, because we're working, we're constantly going, but I want to be every aspect of their life.
So the consultation happened. There's no consultation for vasectomy.
Does he mean like he called to see when they had an appointment available, which is probably all the time?
But to me, a consultation is you go in and you sit down in front of a doctor and they talk you through the process.
Yeah.
Right?
Here's what's going to happen.
Yes.
See you on Monday.
Right.
Have you done this, Ron?
Me? Yeah, I talked about
We
it.
talked
Remember
about it.
Remember he used a paper clip and
Not
attached
a paperclip, man.
What? No, he didn't do it with a paper clip. But remember when he attached?
Oh my God!
Remember he used an elastic and a paper clip and attached.
Was it a paper clip?
Or yeah, it was like like an office mate, like one of those paper.
Oh, the clamp
like
thing?
The clamp.
Oh,
a paper
no.
clamp. So
Okay.
he put an elastic because they have to go under, right? They have to go under. So the stuff on
Jeepers
top.
face.
So the stuff on top needs to be out of the way.
Wait, clamp to skin?
No, to my T-shirt. So he put an elastic around
so
it, tied the
embarrassing.
elastic to like
Are you
an
awake at the
Office
point? At that
Depot.
point?
Yes, an Office Depot paper clamp, and then he pulled my T-shirt down and clamped everything to the T-shirt so it didn't move. Right? So yeah,
that's what the
and the elastic and the clip didn't match in color. Like it was
What? So you're worried about
Were they
aesthetics?
yeah, right.
It's mandatory.
And I didn't see the box where the elastic came from. Like I don't know. I don't know what that elastic was around before it was around me. Right?
Probably a
Like,
stack of papers.
something like
right?
that.
At the admin desk at the front.
Yes.
Oh my Lord.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Travis Scott thanking the Billboard Music Awards yesterday after he performed for the first time on television in the wake of last fall's tragedy at Astroworld with the crowd surge that left 10 people dead. He wrote, "Thank you, Billboard Awards, for letting us move mountains," as what he captioned a picture of himself performing. Diddy was the host and executive producer, if you recall, from Sunday's Billboard Awards, and he said that he was on a mission to uncancel the canceled. And having Travis Scott on the show was a controversial move because he's sort of like persona non grata at like big festivals and stuff. And then you're like, okay, well, we're going to have Travis Scott on the show. What do we do to take the heat off Travis Scott? And if you remember, well, why don't we book Morgan Wallen on the show as well?
Yeah.
And so Diddy at the time had said Travis went through a tragedy. Morgan used the N-word while talking to one of his boys. People make mistakes. Now we're moving on with love and respect for everybody. But I was sort of shocked now that like Travis is thanking Billboard and you sort of piece all this together, I was shocked at the lack of attention that both of those acts got returning to a stage.
Totally agree. I didn't hear a single or see a single thing. Like, every now and then you see people wild out a little bit, but there was not the rush of reaction to any of it, which was stunning to me.
I'll tell you, why it was not stunning? I mean, it's stunning that just because people love to freak out, but you can tell now that the vast majority of that world, right, that music world, had moved on. Nobody wanted to make the first move.
Right.
Nobody wanted to be the one to put them on the show. Nobody wanted to be the one to recognize them. Nobody wanted to be the one that said, we've moved past. It took Diddy executive producing a show to do that, because then what are you going to do? Go after Diddy?
Well, I think in the case of Morgan Wallen, Diddy is probably the right person to accept him back in being he's a black man.
Yes.
Right? In terms of Travis Scott, that one is the one that surprised me a little bit.
It's tough. It's tough. But anyway, so there you go. I didn't even realize that the lack of sort of like blowback on that.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Only Murders in the Building Season 2 dropped their trailer yesterday. Here is a little bit of that.
You love that show, huh?
Yes, they did.
Oh, you didn't watch this trailer yet?
No, I didn't. No, I loved season 1. It was amazing.
Here we go.
So good.
Look at you. You have no idea how much trouble you're in, do you?
Oh my God! Oh my God!
Oh my God!
Oh, goody. The murderers are here.
We were framed. You'll all be on the podcast.
Still have that boom mic?
You bet your ass I do, kid. Well, I don't actually. I returned it in the 30-day window to get my deposit. But I can get it back.
Evidence keeps showing up in our apartments.
Is that the murder weapon? Someone's toying with us. If it was simply about getting us caught, the police would be banging down that door. Why am I holding this knife?
We need to find the real killer.
It is so good. By the way, in the trailer, because you guys didn't see this trailer yet, some celeb cameos include Amy Schumer, Cara Delevingne, and Michael Rappaport. Michael Rappaport plays the detective who's interrogating them.
No.
Yeah, he's so good.
The way that they use Sting in season 1, because I think Sting actually lives in that building, right? Like,
in the real building?
I think that that's his deal. Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm not moving for you guys
I think
to
that
film
he
the show.
actually does. But the way that they incorporated, that without spoiling it, Sting into the story as Sting it was brilliant. And that show is so funny. When does it come back? When is it? When's the date?
June. Hold on here.
It's soon.
It's next month. It is June 28th.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So good. So good.
The Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Remember at the beginning of the MCU and the DCU and all that stuff, you and I would joke that, eventually it's going to get to the point of where they're going to have to do a Wonder Twins movie.
Yeah.
Right? So they were.
No, they weren't.
Yes, they were.
DC was going to do a Wonder Twins movie?
Yeah, DC was going to do a Wonder Twins
Who
movie.
are they going to get to play the Wonder Twins?
So it's been shelved. So
Oh.
the headline is the Wonder Twins have been deactivated.
Oh, why?
So
nobody wants it, I bet.
So it was being developed by one of the key producers of Riverdale, and then somebody else who had worked on Black Adam with the Rock, and I guess the budget got like way out of control, and they wanted it to be a movie, and then they moved it over to HBO Max, and they were looking at a $75 million budget, but HBO Max says no, all original movies need to come in at around $35 million. So there is no, as it is right now, what was it, Zan and Jaina? Were they the Wonder Twins? And their little monkey Gleek?
Something like that.
Right? Was it? What did they used to say? So the Wonder Twins were these alien twins, right? A boy and a girl, and they used to like touch rings and say, by the whatever power, that thing, and then they would go form of an eagle. One person could turn into like an animal, and then the other person had to turn into water. Right? Like the one Wonder Twin had real lame powers where they were like, the guy would go form of a cheetah.
Zan and Jaina.
Yeah, and she would go shape of a puddle. And then and then like this cheetah would stomp a puddle and it would splash in somebody's face. I'm not saying it was that lame, but it was that lame.
Wonder Twin powers activate.
And then they would say form of a
puddle.
No, form of a the animal first, not form of a poo. Why would you do that?
To be discreet.
Why would you do that?
You heard poo. I said boot.
Oh, boot. Yes, form of a boot.
Yeah.
And then she would go shape of a water balloon.
Poo.
A poo. No, it had to be water-based. It was always water-based.
Smoothie.
It was
Diarrhea.
A smoothie, yeah. Yes. Yeah,
Water-based.
Wow, Deepa. Wow. No wonder they couldn't make the Wonder Twins movie, right? Because this is all people would do in the writer's room, is come up with nonsense like this.
This is exactly.
Yes.
It just got out of control.
Yes, and then somebody was like, you want us to spend $75 million so he can become a boot and she can become diarrhea?
Wonder power.
Right?
Wonder Twin power activate.
Thanks for listening to the Roz and Mocha Show podcast.
Catch the guys live
Weekday mornings from 6 to 10.
on Kiss 92.5
Kiss925.com.
or download the Kiss 92.5 app.